What's up, people? Punch here. So Sunkenland had a new update for patch 02.5, and this was on the beta branch for Sunkenland. What they did was they added a new weather system, sunny, cloudy, and thunderstorm. These are the three new ones that you're going to be dealing with. Sunny has little wind, strong sunlight. Cloudy has moderate wind, weak sunlight. Thunderstorm has no sunlight, strong wind, and will continuously be cold, accompanied by thunder and lightning. And essentially, it just gets really super dark, and you'll be hearing a lot of rain when you play the game. And this happens quite frequently. It's not just like it goes for 5-6 minutes and then it's over. It actually kept going for like 10, 15, 20 minutes. Another thing I wanted to touch up on is the new additions that they added into the game, like the power grid, such as the generators, the junction box, the actual power grid itself, or the power hub as they call it, and the wind turbines, solar panels, and some other things. And these are also a couple things I'll touch on later, but mainly it's just right now we're going to talk about the weather system and let you listen into what the thunderstorm kind of actually sounds like while I'm taking the marine fast boat out for a little bit test drive. As you just heard from that, that's actually the thunderstorm and what it sounds like. It does progressively get a lot harder with the rain and making it a little bit more difficult to see. Sometimes it'll be like light rainstorms and then gets a little bit more dense as time goes on. But the other thing that they were hinting on was the future game content will interact with the weather, such as ghost ships appearing only during thunderstorms and active rare fish schools only on cloudy days. In terms of does it rock you around a bunch when you're going on your boat or flying in your helicopter, not necessarily. I don't see any strong winds or making any real waves that are going to crash into your boat or make you lose control. Nothing like that. It's just a difference in weather. Now, it might be something to do with events later, like they said something about a ghost ship or something else happening underwater. To be honest, I'm not really quite sure what else they could do with it. Maybe greater waves, making them stronger, gusts of wind that do something to you, or mess with the support systems of your buildings. It could be anyone's guess as far as what they're going to do next after this update. Now I'm going to talk about another addition that they added into the game, and that was the electrical or power grid. And they added this because they wanted to make something better than just adding a bunch of fuel to a generator and having everything with a bunch of cables all around your house kind of like clustering. So they have a junction box to allow for cables to go, better and more organized. You have then a small battery and a large battery. You have a small generator, large generator. And then you have, of course, the other three things I talked about. Turbine, solar panels, and the lightning rod. The other thing is that when you're flying in the helicopter, they also change the way you fly. And I'm showing you the nighttime because you can't see shit. Absolutely nothing. But that's not the worst bit. The worst bit is that they changed the way the helicopter flies. For example, you used to use the mouse to move the joystick to kind of yaw, go side to side, or even turn. Instead, they made it keyboard only for the helicopter and not using the mouse to actually look around or pitch or even yaw. And when it says increase altitude for left control, it's actually shift. The other one is decrease altitude, so watch out when you're trying to figure out why does it say left control and I'm not going up in the air, but instead going on the ground and hitting harder than ever. I was confused by that as well. The other thing is that when you're trying to fly this helicopter, it's janky as hell. Trying to move the joystick at all is very slow in comparison to what it used to be, which was pretty fast and being able to like pitch down and go like 250 kilometers an hour. I'm not a big fan of this change. Some people might like it. I personally don't. I really kind of wish they would give me the other option to go back to the other way so that I could fly the helicopter and have more enjoyment. But instead, I'm just letting it sit there and rust while I'm taking the jet ski, the marine fast boat, or even the sailboat, because I don't want to be bothered trying to use something like this and then crash, die instantly, and then have to go back. Which another thing they did was add a single-use sleeping bag. And they say you could place it anywhere. That's not true. There's a bug to where you can't place it anywhere on the map. Not even if there's enemies nearby or they're all dead. A couple things I forgot about the helicopter was they decided to add the blueprints on Big Bridge. So if people are trying to wonder where the blueprints are, it's not a random drop. You just go straight to Big Bridge and you get it from there. The other thing was they increased the health of the helicopter. I think it was 10,000 health. Now it's 20,000. because a lot of them kept getting shot up and blasted by shotgun rounds and pistols, and it would just blow up immediately because, it's not really that strong, even though it's like made mostly of metal. Then they also messed around with the optimization and control. Again, not a big fan of what they did for the helicopter. They also increased the damage of the 50 caliber machine gun from 180 to 220. 50 caliber bullet production per batch has been increased from 60 to 100 rounds, with the stack size per group increased from 1,000 to 2,000, which I do find kind of nice because you go through quite a bit of ammunition when shooting that giant machine gun. You can make a decent amount of them too. Depends on what you want to put them on your deck. Like I have a pillbox that's like second floor from my actual building. I think in the patch notes they were talking about some other things, but I never really got to it because I didn't think they were too much of an issue to talk about. But I wanted to show you guys the power grid and what it kind of looks like. The thing is that I don't know personally if you need to have a rubber floor for like making the generator or the battery. And it seems like I'm able to put the power grid on any type of floor. I did have some issues trying to put it on like a metal sheet or maybe like another area. I think it just looks kind of good for having it on rubber floors, so I just did it that way. And if you put the generator, the power grid, and the battery next to each other, it's a little bit simpler to deal with so that you can have all your cords go everywhere in your little base, which I think it's like 20 for the max before you have to put another power grid down and get another 20 put on there. Essentially, if you're trying to figure out how the power grid works, get a bunch of turbines, solar panels, and lightning rods together, like 2 or 3 of them each, and then just put them at the highest portions of your building. They say the higher you go for the wind turbines, the more generation of energy you gain. I don't know about the solar panels so much. They said something about 15 meters plus, and then maybe you might get a decent amount of sunlight. And then lightning rods haven't really been a great success, even though I've had like multiple thunderstorms. But that's all I got right now for 0.2.5 of the beta. I've been One Nut Punch, and this has been Sunkenland. Thanks for watching, everybody, and I'll see y'all later in the next one. I'll keep you guys posted if anything new pops up from Hotfixes. Maybe do a YouTube short, or just wait if they come up with more new stuff from Sunkenland and some other games. Anyway, thanks for watching. I'll see y'all later in the next one.